Sai Ram. It's very good to be seeing all of you and to being asked to participate and present this workshop. So thank you very much. Let me share my screen. So Swami tells us that we should all be doing meditation, and we should be doing Jyoti meditation. You'll see that in quotes coming up. Now, I happen to love Swami quotes. I collect them, and you don't really want to know what I think about Jyoti meditation. What's important is what Swami has said about Jyoti meditation. So that's what we'll primarily be presenting here today. So Victoria, can you read this slide, please?
With pleasure. Dhyana meditation is the very basis of all sadhana, spiritual practice. Meditation gives you the first inkling of the divine bliss. With this bliss as the ideal, you must carry on meditation and mental repetition of the divine name. Meditation is the seventh of the eightfold path of yoga. Do not give up this royal road that leads you on that sacred goal.
Thank you. So Swami tells us that meditation gives us the first feeling of divine bliss. And I can tell you that is absolutely true. And hopefully today, I'll be sharing with you how to attain that bliss. And it's worth it. And Swami has said, and this is from the teachings of Satya Sai Baba, all accomplished spiritual aspirants, yogis, and renunciates have acquired knowledge of the absolute through meditation. When higher knowledge is established, there is no sense of past or future. All is present time. So Swami has told us that all yogis, all aspirants, all renunciants, all the great ones have acquired their knowledge through meditation. He goes on to say, one's life also assumes a new splendor when one visualizes and realizes bliss in the awareness of the supreme reality, Sat Chit Ananda, through a mind and intellect that is purified and transformed by a means of meditation. So what is this splendor, this bliss that we feel? And he goes on and he says, when the taste of meditation is once discovered, one will discard all doubt and discussion thereon and engage oneself fully in it. Therefore, begin meditation, each one of you today, even from this moment. So once you start feeling the divine bliss, and you will, and it is absolutely wonderful, you will want to continue with that meditation. You will want to get as much of that as you can. And it is a wonderful feeling. So Swami has said that meditation is a way of finding God. Meditation gives us true happiness, true ananda. And remember, what has Swami said is our first and foremost responsibility in life? He said, believe it or not, it's to be happy, which is wonderful. Swami wants us to be happy and to be happy in all circumstances. That's the trick. And meditation is the tool to let us achieve that. Swami says, do not give up doing meditation because it leads to becoming one with God. So Chitra, would you mind reading this slide?
Sure, thank you. What is meditation? Meditation is not merging the form of the mind. It is merging your mind with the form so that mind doesn't exist. There are 3 stages in the process. Imagining the experiencing the divine, and finally, realization. In these initial stages, the devotee imagines one's favorite divine form as they seen before. Over time, the image vanishes in the mind and they begin experiencing the form. This process takes longer, and slowly the devotee starts experiencing the Lord from toe to the head. The impressions last longer and grow deeper, and gradually the image of the Lord that is firmly implanted becomes an inner reality. While imagining state gives only momentary joy, the experiencing stage results in complete identification of the seeker with the Lord. Thus, over time, awareness of the divine results in oneness with the divine.
Thank you. So you can see that this is a gradual process. First, we imagine our oneness with God, and then as we continue meditation, we become one with God. And what is the goal? So what is the goal of this meditation? Well, it's no less than merging with Swami in the form of our Atma. Now, our Atma is in us and above us. And Swami has said, our Atma is in us and above us. And this picture here, this image, is an artist's concept. The small person below, in the bottom of the picture, that's our physical self. And it's very limited, it's temporary. But that splendid being that's in and above our physical self is our true self. It is our Atma. It has always been, it will always be. It's what God created, what Swami created, so he could love himself. And so that we can grow and remerge, merge again with God. And that's what we're doing now. So meditation and prema takes us closer and closer to this Atmic merger, slowly but steadily until we merge. So I don't know if you've heard this, but Swami has a beautiful little story about a wave on the ocean. And this little wave is zipping along on top of the ocean going, whee, look at me. I'm having so much fun. I can see the birds and the other waves. This is wonderful. But then it starts losing energy. And it starts going down and getting smaller. And it says, oh no, I'm dying. This is horrible. What am I going to do? And then it merges into the ocean. And then it has a transformation. It says, oh my God, I had no idea. I wasn't that little wave. I'm the ocean. I am everything. I can see and know everything. I am the ocean. That is a perfect example of merging with our Atma, merging with God. We lose nothing. We gain everything. We merge with Swami. So let me share a little story of an incredible blessing that Swami gave me. This was in 2004. And it's the very early morning, of course. Sometimes you have to get there like at 3 o'clock in the morning to get in the chip lines and to get a good placement. So I was inside Coolent Hall and I was doing Jyoti meditation, waiting for Swami to arrive. And finally, the music started that announces Swami's arrival. And in 2004, he was coming in a car. So he was having trouble walking at that time. So I opened my eyes and his car enters Sai Cohen Hall. And I saw Swami. And all of a sudden, I lost consciousness. My body was gone. My mind was gone. There was no time. There was only brilliant golden white light. Love. Love so deep, so wonderful. There's no way to describe it. Pure happiness and joy, bliss. So intense, there's no way to describe it. I knew instantly I had merged with God, and I was the happiest person on earth. There was also no time. So I had no idea how long I was in that state. I didn't know whether it was a few seconds, hours, days, or lifetimes. There was no way for me to know. Then after a while, that feeling faded. I opened my eyes, and Swami's car had moved maybe 10, 15 feet. So I was only in that state for a few seconds. But Swami was showing me, he was giving me a taste of what it's like to merge with God. And it is absolutely wonderful. I cannot encourage you enough that to do what you have to do to change your life so that you can merge with God. And Swami tells us what's the best way to do that? Namasmarana, right? And Jyoti meditation. So what really happens to our Atma? How do we really merge with God? So Swami tells us, and this is from the SSSIO, when the individual drops the body, in other words, when our body dies, the words enter the mind. The mind enters the prana or life force, and the life force merges in the Atma. The Atma, individualized in the body, when it liberates itself, rushes to the Surya Loka, the sun, right? The region of the solar principle, the Surya. From thence, it reaches the region of Brahma, the Brahma Loka. Having reached that region, the individualized Atma, the Jivatma, has no more concern with the world. It will exist there till the end of time. It will experience boundless delight. It will have all powers except the powers of creation. The authority to rule over the cosmos is exclusive to God. So what happens to us when we die? Well, that depends. Do we have to come back? Or do we gain liberation and go forward? If we gain liberation, our Atma, our whole life force, our mind enters our Atma, and our Atma goes to the sun. There, the sorting takes place. If we have to return, we return. Otherwise, we go to the God region of the universe, the Brahmaloka. And then we merge with God. And that is where the light, the love, the pure joy exists. And we're going to be busy there because we have a lot of work to do. Okay. It's not like we're just floating around on a cloud like the Christian concept of heaven. No, we will be busy, but we'll be working from that feeling of love, of joy. It is wonderful. Okay, so to sign off, if you can read the slide, please.
Sure, Doug. Prema is required for and a result of Jyoti meditation. The love with which the world is considered to be filled with is not real love. Love cannot be associated with the body, the senses, the mind, and the intellect. Anything associated with these is only attachment, anuraga. Spiritual or atmic life alone is a love-filled life. Therefore, lead a spiritual life, not a life bound by body, mind, senses, and intellect. A life related to the body, the senses, the mind, and the intellect can never be free from selfishness, conceit, and ostentation.
Thank you. So we see that prema or unconditional love is what will result from doing Jyoti meditation, but it's also required to progress on Jyoti meditation. So we develop this love for everyone and everything, everywhere. And it is completely unconditional. It needs to be unconditional. And that's the trick. Because is it easy to love someone who has harmed you? No, but that's what we have to develop. And we'll talk about a little more about that in a moment. So, Seema, if you could please read this slide.
Sure, with joy. For one who desires to practice dhyana or meditation, it is advisable that Jyoti, divine light, is taken as the dhyeya or object of meditation. Jyoti or light does not perish or change. Moreover, a flame can kindle a million others without getting extinguished and is therefore inexhaustible.
Thank you. So we all know that Swami wants us to do meditation, but why Jyoti meditation? And this is it right here in summer showers in Vrindavan. Swami says that if we want to do meditation, that we should do Jyoti meditation. Well, why? Well, Swami says, this is from the Sutra Vihini, which I highly recommend. The Sutra Vihini is wonderful. The divine light, or Jyoti, illumines heaven and beyond, and reveals even Brahman, that which makes known by its splendor the era preceding the origin of living beings, and the regions beyond even the furthest and the highest. That is indicated by the word Jyoti. It shines in that supremeness among supreme regions. Wow. Well, what did Swami just say? Swami has said that the divine light, Jyoti, precedes the creation of the universe, basically, right? It precedes the origin of living beings and the regions beyond even the faintest and furthest. That is indicated by the word Jyoti, or in other words, Sat, right? Everything. And then he tells us, note also that the same divine light, or Jyoti, shines everywhere, at all times, and in all beings. It comprises existence, Sat, illumination, knowledge, Chit, and joy, bliss, or Ananda. Now, this is very important. All these activities are prompted and promoted by Brahman, which is divine light itself. Wow. So what did Swami just say here? Swami is saying that God is light. Light is God. What else? God is, and there's our God right there. That's Swamiji. God is pure love, pure prema. Jyoti, divine light. Jnana, divine knowledge. Seva. Who's the best sevak in the world? It's Swami, right? He gives darshan, or gave darshan every single day. He had no vacations, no holidays, no time off. It was always doing darshan every single day. And look at all the good, all the seva he has done. And God is also pure happiness, Ananda. That's pretty cool. Prema, Jyoti, Jnana, Seva, Ananda. Because we are part of God. And he wants us to gain all these things and be these things. So, okay, so now let's really jump into the meditation itself. What has Swami said about the meditation? Let me just get this here. There you go. Okay. Swami has said, during meditation, care must be taken to keep the back. Whoops, wait a minute here. No. Oh, here you go. Okay, sorry. Swami has said that early morning is best, before dawn and before any bath or shower. Now, actually, Swami has said that we should use the bathroom, brush our teeth. Swami actually says that we should brush our teeth and then do the Jyoti meditation before any bath or shower. Well, why is that? Because once we take a bath or shower, we start to wake up more and all the thoughts of the day. Oh, Johnny had that project due at school today. Did he ever get it done? Ooh, I got that presentation at work today. Oh boy, that's going to be something. So all the anxieties of the day can enter us and inhibit the meditation. And so that's why early morning, before dawn, and before any bath or shower. Swami tells us that the area for meditation should be clean. Be by yourself or away from others. Why? Well, every single one of us has an aura around us. It's actually part of our Atma. Our Atma is in us and above us, and it extends. If you put your arms out as far as they can go, that's how far the Atma extends. Or in China, it's called the Qi, right? Our aura. That's how far it extends. And we don't want ours to mix with anyone else's. We have enough of our own problems and karma we have to deal with. We don't need to deal with other people's as well. So we want to be separated from their auras, their atmas. Okay, Swami says, do not sit directly on the ground. Well, I happen to love to do meditation in nature. And nature is a beautiful place to do meditation. But put your jacket down on the ground or something else. And the reason for that is that it's just like the ground in an electrical circuit. The ground in an electrical circuit, all those grounds go outside the house and there's a copper rod that goes into the ground because the excess electricity grounds out into the soil. The same thing happens with us with that divine energy. If we sit on the ground, it drains out of us into the soil. And we don't want that. We want to retain it in us, in our bodies, in our atmas, and build it, right? Make it stronger. Swami tells us to sit comfortably and relaxed. Lotus position is best if possible. Do I do the lotus position? No way. I have tried. I end up like a pretzel. Can't get out of it. And it hurts. Now, those of you who practice yoga, wonderful. The lotus position is best if you can do it. But Swami says any position where you're comfortable, it will work just fine. But there's one caveat. You must keep your back straight. This is absolutely important. If you cannot keep your back straight, don't do the meditation. That's how important it is. And I'll explain more in a moment. Now your hands. Put your hands on your knees with the palms facing up. Well, what about mudras? Like this, right? Like this, or this. There's many different types of mudras. Shouldn't I be using a mudra? Well, it's common for people to use their index finger and their thumb. You know what Swami says about that? Index fingers are for pointing, not for meditation. Swami says to use your middle finger if you're going to do a mudra. But that's what I learned early on. With time, I learned from talking to people who got interviewed, and Swami told each one of them how to do the Jyoti meditation and which mudras to use. He told every person a different mudra. So the mudras have to be customized for the person. So the answer is, if you feel comfortable with a mudra, use it. If not, keep your hands palms up on your knees. And please experiment. Try the different types of mudras. See if they help. They may or may not. Okay, now this is what is very important about keeping your back straight. During meditation, care must be taken to keep the back straight and steady without bending forward or backward or sideward. If you bend or move, misdirection of highly potent energy, kundalini, can occur, resulting in mental derangement. Also wear loose clothes. You don't want your waist constricted. So, holy mackerels, mental derangement if we don't keep our back straight. But that's true. Swami has said that there is so much power in our atmas that if all the energy in our atma were to enter our physical body at the same time, our bodies would be turned into a pile of ash. Yep. That's how much power is in our atmas. Remember, it's God, it's the power of God. So we have to be so careful to keep our backs straight, please. So Swami says, as regards the technique of meditation, different teachers and trainers give different forms of advice. But I shall give you now the most universal and the most effective form. This is the very first step in spiritual discipline. Set aside for this, at first, a few minutes every day, and later go on extending the time as and when you feel the bliss that you shall get. Now, I want to point out that from this slide, and most of the slides preceded or after this, are taken from the All India Dalvikas Gurus Conference of 1979. This was the very first conference for SSE teachers, what was called back then Dalvikas. And Swami taught the teachers, he told all the SSE gurus to make sure you teach your students Jyoti meditation. So that's where these words come from. And you can, the transcript of that conference is available, and you can find all this information in there. So he's saying that he's going to give us now the most universal and the most effective form. And what is that? It's Jyoti meditation. So here's what Swami tells us. Let it be in the hours before dawn. This is preferable because the body is refreshed after sleep and the peregrinations of daytime will not yet have impinged on you. Have a lamp or a candle with an open flame, steady and straight before you. Sit in the lotus posture or any other comfortable posture in front of the candle. Look on the flame steadily for some time. And closing your eyes, try to feel the flame inside you, between your eyebrows. Let it slide down into the lotus of your heart, illuminating the path. When it enters the heart, imagine that the petals of the lotus open out one by one, bathing every thought, feeling, and emotion in the light, and so removing darkness from them. There is no space for darkness to hide. The light of the flame becomes wider and brighter. Let it pervade your limbs. Now those limbs can never more deal in dark, suspicious, and wicked activities. They have become instruments of light and love. As the light reaches up to the tongue, falsehood vanishes. Let it rise high in ears and destroy all the dark desires that infest. Visualize God in the all-pervasive light. And who do we visualize? Swami, right? Although he says any divine being is permissible. Use Swami. That's urban. Let your head be surcharged with light. All wicked thoughts flee therefrom. Imagine that the light is in you more and more intensely. Let it shine all around you and let it spread from you in ever widening circles, taking in your loved ones, your kith and kin, your friends and companions, your enemies and rivals, strangers, all living beings, the entire world. Okay, well, now we know what he has said to do. Let's actually do it. Okay, so this will be a guided meditation. Okay, now most of you will not have a lamp or a candle in front of you right now, and that is absolutely fine. Simply use your imagination. What I do, and I recommend, what works best for me, is to picture a small golden sun, just like up in the sky, the sun at noon. Imagine it to be about the size of a ping pong ball, maybe a little smaller. And imagine it right between your eyebrows, in the middle of your forehead. Okay, so just use your imagination. Okay. Sit in a comfortable position and keep your back straight. Rest your hands on your knees, palms facing up. Gently close your eyes. Okay, everyone close your eyes. Keep your mind and body calm and relaxed. Breathe in and out slowly. As you breathe in, say, so. As you breathe out, say, breathe in, so. Out, breathe in. As you breathe in, see and feel golden white light flooding your body. Beautiful, joyful, golden white light. As you breathe out the darkness, breathe out fear, anger, hate. Feel it leaving your body. Feel all tensions, frustrations leaving your body. Breathe in, so. Out, Visualize the golden white sun between your eyebrows in the middle of the forehead. Feel it growing ever brighter, ever more brilliant. A beautiful small sun. See and feel that beautiful small sun move to the center of your head, illuminating your head. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun moving down through your head, down through your neck, into your chest, and into your heart, illuminating everything in its path and dispelling all darkness. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, filling your heart with beautiful golden white light. Visualize your heart as a beautiful, brilliant lotus blossom flower bud, opening its petals one by one, releasing great rays, great beams of beautiful, brilliant golden white, transmuting everything they come to your beautiful golden white light, raising the spiritual consciousness everywhere, blessing everyone and everything. See and feel the petals opening one by one. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, illuminating our arms and hands. May our arms and hands only be used to do good deeds. May our arms and hands always serve others with love and compassion. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, illuminating our trunks, legs, and feet. May our legs and feet only carry us to good places to do good deeds. May our legs and feet always serve God in all forms. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun, pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, illuminating our necks, heads, mouth, and tongue. May our mouths and tongues only speak the truth. May our mouths and tongues always speak softly, gently, kindly, lovingly, sweetly. May our mouths and tongues only consume good, sattvic, pure, and nutritious foods. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun, pure love, pure divine light, illuminating our ears. May our ears only hear what is good and useful. May our ears always be used for compassionate listening. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, illuminating our eyes. May our eyes always see the inherent goodness and beauty that is in everyone and everything, everywhere. May our eyes always be used in selfless service to God in all forms. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, illuminating our minds. May our minds only think good, pure, and sacred thoughts. May our minds always bring into this world and all worlds pure prema, satya, dharma, shanti, and ahimsa. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, illuminating our Atma. May our Atma take complete control of everything we feel, think, say, and do. Take ownership of the results of everything we feel, think, say, and do. And put Swamiji God in charge. See and feel the beautiful, brilliant, golden white sun of pure love, pure divine light, expanding in size and brilliance, expanding to fill our entire homes, our communities, the earth, this universe, with beautiful, brilliant, golden white light, transmuting everything it touches into pure, beautiful, golden white light, pure love, pure divine light, raising the spiritual consciousness everywhere, and blessing everyone, everything. Repeat after me. I am in the light. I am in the light. I am in the light. The light is in me. The light is in me. The light is in me. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. I am pure divine love. I am pure divine love. I am pure divine love. I am one with God. I am one with God. I am one with God. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Hold this feeling for as long as you can. At least 30 seconds, much longer is better. Try to keep the light and this feeling of peace with you throughout the day. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Gary, if you don't mind, if you could read this slide and the next slide. You're on mute.
Learning is gradual. Do not get discouraged that you are not able to concentrate long from the very beginning. When you learn to ride a bicycle, you do not learn the art of balancing immediately. You push the cycle along to an open field and hop and skip, leaning now to one side and now to the other, and even fall with the cycle upon you on many an attempt before you are able to ride with skill and to never more worry about the balance.
I can't change the slide. If someone can change it for me. Or here, let me see. There it goes. Okay.
Then automatically you are able to make the necessary adjustments to correct the balance. After getting thus skilled, you can ride through the narrow streets and lanes and do not need an open field. You can negotiate your vehicle through the most crowded thoroughfares. So, too, practice will equip you with a concentration that will sustain you in the densest of surroundings and the most difficult situations.
Thank you. And Jean, if you could read this slide and the next slide, please.
Since the light illumines all the senses every day, so deeply and so systematically, a time will soon come when you can no more relish dark and evil sights, yearn for dark and sinister tales, crave for base, harmful, deadening, toxic food and drink, handle dirty, demeaning things, approach places of ill fame and injury, or frame evil designs against anyone at any time. Stay on in that thrill of witnessing the light everywhere. If you are adoring God in any form now, try to visualize that form in the all-pervasive light. For light is God. God is light. Practice this meditation as I have advised regularly every day. At other times, repeat the name of God, any name fragrant with any of his many majesties, always taking care to be conscious of his might, mercy, and munificence.
Thank you. So he tells us that practice will equip us with a concentration that will sustain you in the densest of surroundings in the most difficult situations. So yes, we need to start when we first do the meditation, early in the morning, preferably before the sun has come up, because there's all these distractions. But once we become a practice and Jyoti meditation becomes normal for us, as we progress, you will find that you can do it anywhere, in any circumstances. I've gotten to the point where just thinking about doing Jyoti meditation puts me into that meditative state, or thinking about my Atma and concentrating on my Atma. I'm just in bliss. It just puts me right into that state. So that is where we need to get to, and you will. But practice makes perfect. It's like anything else, right? It's just like playing a musical instrument. You have to practice. The more we practice, the better we get. So here's some tips. Start by using Soham breathing to calm ourselves down. And I like to use it with the visualization as I breathe in, feel the light and all the good things come into us, what Swami says, the prema, Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Ahimsa, Jyoti, Ananda. As you breathe out, visualize darkness and hate, anger, any frustrations that you've had leaving your body. And understand that Soham is a wonderful meditation just by itself. There's a lot of people that just do Soham meditation. That's great. Swami tells us to wear loose clothing. Why? Because the waist should not be constricted. And that's because we should be doing what's called diaphragm breathing. Okay, it's the same breathing that they teach people who have emphysema, athletes in sports, opera singers that have to sustain notes for a long period of time. And diaphragm breathing is done by moving the diaphragm. It's the muscle that's between your stomach and your lungs, by moving it down. Normally when we breathe air into the top portion of our lungs. It's very shallow breathing. But when we learn, or when we're doing something that takes a lot of oxygen, diaphragm breathing is best in that move your stomach down, feel the diaphragm dropping down, and you fill all your lungs with good fresh air. Likewise, when you breathe out, when you exhale, it's a good idea to exhale as much air as you comfortably can. And that way you exchange the oxygen faster, and that slows your breathing rate down. You can slow your breathing. That's the trick that the yogis use to breathe so slowly. So some people, they said they're in samadhi. They're breathing so slowly. Keep the mouth closed. The teeth should be slightly apart. Your tongue should be touching the roof of your mouth next to your teeth, very gently. Eyes should be closed or half closed. Now, why does Swami say that? Well, some of us, when we meditate, particularly if it's early in the morning, we'll fall asleep, right? We become so relaxed that we fall asleep. If you're the type that falls asleep when you're trying to do meditation, don't close your eyes all the way. Keep them just open enough so that a little bit of light comes in, but everything is fuzzy. You can't see anything distinctly, it's fuzzy. A little bit of light is coming in. And that will keep you awake while doing meditation. So at first, you're going to need your imagination to visualize the light. And that is perfectly normal. However, with time, the light will actually be there. You're actually generating Jyoti, or your Atma is generating the Jyoti light for you. And it will become resonant in your heart as well as in your third eye, right between your eyebrows. And eventually, whenever you think about it or initiate meditation, it will just blossom. You will feel that light just radiating, and it will make you really happy. Now, the light you visualize, the color should be gold and white light, just like sunlight. At high noon when the sun is in the sky and everything's clear, that the sun is a golden white. And that's the color that we should be using for the Jyoti meditation. Remember back when you were in elementary school and your teacher took prisms and held it in the sunlight, and on the wall would be projected all the colors of the rainbow or on a piece of paper. White light is made up of equal amounts of all the different colors. So in other words, it is perfectly balanced. Yellow or golden light is the aspect of wisdom. And it's the light that the divine beings use, this golden white light. So golden white light is wisdom, perfectly balanced in all other aspects. So that's why we use golden white light. Now, when you have centered and expanded the light in our hearts and continue to expand it, feel the light, actually see the light, use your imagination at first, and feel that light radiating through you and out from you, raising the spiritual consciousness in you and throughout the world. Feel that happiness, feel that love, okay, of the light going out. And Swami tells us, when you meditate on the effulgence of anyone, a part of that effulgence enters into you. So who do we want to meditate on? Swami. Swami tells us to visualize God. I use Swami. I think that you would want to use Swami as well. When I see the golden white sun, I usually picture Swami's face in that sun. Just Swami's head basically is a golden white sun. Instead of black hair, just white and just blazing out golden white light. That's what works best for me. Remember, and this is so, so important. Swami has said this many times. We become what we put our attention on. So what do we want to put our attention on? Swami, right? We want to put on our Atma. We want to put our attention on love, on happiness. Happiness is our primary responsibility, which is a good thing. That's great. Those are the things we want to put our happiness on good news. Do we want to put our happiness on problems in the world? I mean, do we want to put our attention on problems in the world? No. And like I've said before, I don't normally advocate violence, but the best thing you can do is shoot your television. Television is such a destructive force. It can also be a good force. I don't know if you've seen the Ted Henry Sojourns. They are wonderful. Highly recommend them. Try to avoid watching things that will bring you down or make you anxious or full of fear or anger. That will destroy all the work you're trying to do. Okay, so the sustained portion of the meditation, and by sustained portion, it means after you've done most of the meditation, you're all done, and you're feeling that beautiful feeling, you've expanded the light to the world. Try to continue that by using So-Hum breathing once again. Retransition to So-Hum meditation. And you'll find that you can carry it much longer than you could otherwise. And one of the most important things when doing Jyoti meditation is be relaxed. Will we always get it right? No. Will we make mistakes? You bet. It's fine. Don't worry about it. If you realize you're not doing something just right, don't worry. Just correct it and continue on. It's absolutely fine. Now, understand, and people ask me, well, how many different kinds of meditation are there? And the answer is, it's the same as the number of people that do meditation. Okay? You need to experiment. You need to Swami's meditation, that's right on satyasai.org. It's very simple. It's picture the flame between your eyebrows, have it go down in your heart, expand it to your limbs, and expand it to the world. That's it. That's Swami's meditation. I have expanded it, And I've expanded it much, much more for the one that I do personally. And by the way, I will put that in the Dropbox link so you can see it if you want to. It gives you some suggestions. You need to do what works best for you, which means you need to experiment a little bit with this. If you find that what you're doing doesn't work, go back to Swami's version, the simple version, and start over from there. But you want to do, it's highly advisable to do the Jyoti meditation. Believe me, you will not regret it. Okay, so let's say we've been doing the meditation for months or years, and it's been wonderful. And it isn't always up. You know, you can have bad days where you try to do meditation and it's just not working. No problem. That's normal. It's like this, going up. You know, some days are better than others, but over the long haul, you should be, it should be growing that divine energy within you. You should be feeling happier and happier and more connected to God. But eventually, you will hit what I call a spiritual plateau. Now, a plateau is a flat area of the ground, okay, of the earth. Like there's the seaboard with the ocean, the land comes up, then it hits a plateau before it reaches mountains. So it's a flat area. And spiritual plateaus are when everything's going fine, but you're not growing anymore. So what do? And I have hit many spiritual plateaus. It normally means we have to change something in our lives. We have to make a positive change before spiritual growth can continue. So pray to Swami to reveal how we have to change and to take complete control of that change. And, you know, I say, oh, Swami, please show me, what do I have to do? I'm not growing anymore. What do I have to do? Show me. And you'll normally find that when you're actually in the meditation, in that stillness and peace, it'll come to you. The change that is necessary becomes apparent. And like I said, I have had many spiritual plateaus. And so I'm going to share some of those with you. One of the very first plateaus that I've had, I was doing Jyoti meditation, and it was wonderful. I was growing, you know, it wasn't like a saint or a sage, it was just very basic, but it was in the beginning, but still I could feel it, you know, it was wonderful. And then I hit that plateau. I wasn't growing anymore. And I was praying to Swami, please show me, what do I have to do? What's the problem? And during the meditation, a question came to me. Doug, what'd you have to eat last night? And I said, oh, I just had some fish. Oops, I get it. I realized I wasn't fully vegetarian. I'd given up all other meat, but I hadn't given up fish. So I gave up fish. What happened to my meditations? Boom, up they went again. I made that change in my life. So now I was no longer eating any form of meat. The meditations were good. And it lasted about a year or so. And then I hit another spiritual plateau. Oh, Swami, please show me, what do I have to do? And once again, during the meditation, a question came into my mind. Doug, what'd you do last night? Oh, I just went out with a bunch of folks from work and we had a few drinks. Uh-oh, I get it. I'm sorry, Swami, I get it. Now, I've never been the type to like alcohol. I just don't like it, it's a damn. But I would drink socially with people at work just to build camaraderie and stuff. And I realized that was a big mistake. So no more of that. What happened to my meditations? Zoom. Once again, they started growing. Well, then I hit the spiritual plateau of all plateaus. This was just very frustrating for me. The meditations were at this point getting really wonderful, but then they stopped growing and I couldn't seem to do anything. I kept praying to Swami. And this went on for about a year. I was praying to Swami to please show me, what do I have to do? And I love hiking and walking. And so I was living in Massachusetts at the time, and I was on a business trip to Philadelphia. I was walking down toward Independence Hall. This was after the day's activities, of course. And there was this little cemetery. It was where two streets came together and went together as one, like a Y or a V in the street. And it was a tiny little Revolutionary War cemetery with a wrought iron fence around it, all rusty. The weeds had grown up in that little tiny cemetery where the two roads came together. But I felt pulled into it. It was strange. The gate to get in was rusted shut. I shook it real hard to break it open, and it finally broke open. I went into that little weed-covered cemetery, into the center of it, and I felt myself saying from the bottom of my heart, I forgive everyone and everything everywhere, and I fill them all with love and light. And I felt it from the bottom of my heart, this forgiveness going out. And this cloud of fear and anger and hate that was around me, that I never knew was there, lifted off of me and floated away. Do you know how I felt after that? I felt like I was walking through air. I felt wonderful. It changed my entire life. I had to forgive everyone and everything everywhere in this life and all past lives. Do you know what my meditations were like after that? Holy mackerels, it was a whole new level. It turns out that forgiveness is something that every single one of us has to do. It's one of the challenges, one of the tests on our spiritual progress. Every single one of us has been abused, either in this life or past lives, normally both. In order to get past a certain point of spiritual development, we have to forgive all those who ever wronged us. So please, note that, try to do the best you can to forgive everyone. It is absolutely necessary. It's wonderful. It will remove such a weight off of you. You will feel so much better and your spiritual growth will just explode. Okay, so I am I. So as we know, the Jyoti meditation harnesses the power of our Atma, which is also known as our I am presence, also known as the soul in Christianity. It's our God self. It is one with everything. It is God. So our view of the universe, our view of everything has to change from this individual being, this individual body, to one with everything. And one way to do that is to change our point of reference from I to we, right? Picture yourself as the entire world. And the easiest way for me to do that is with Jyoti light. Once I expand the light, I retain that. I see the entire world blazing with light, all the people in it blazing with the golden white light, in them and above them with their Atmas. And I feel connected to all of it. That is what I actually am. And once you do this long enough, you will feel that connection. And then you can change, once again, the terminology from we back to I. but it's a new I, one that includes everything. All right, so what are the results of Jyoti meditation? And Gary, if you could read this, please.
Thank you. Results of Jyoti meditation. Happiness and joy, pure ananda. Peace, shanti, and a positive attitude. Clarity and purity of mind. A desire to help others, to serve Swami. Improved discrimination between good and evil, truth and falsehood, and right from wrong. Patience and forbearance. Increased memory power. Eventually, liberation or moksha.
Thank you. That's wonderful. So, the results of Jyoti meditation. Yes, the happiness is incredible. The feeling of peace, it's wonderful. But also the clarity and purity of mind. You know, the mind fog, particularly with COVID and so forth, people talk about mind fog. Jyoti meditation will clear that out. Seva, we will want to do a lot of seva. Then one thing that's important is this discrimination between good and evil. And you know how in cartoons they show an angel, little angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder? Well, that's your conscience, right? Is that little angel. Jyoti meditation will make that really strong. You'll be in a situation and you go, oops, that's not good. Where in the past, you may just, not think about it. But once you start doing Jyoti meditation, that feeling that your conscience will become very strong. Patience and forbearance. Now, increased memory power. I have to be honest, I'm still waiting for that one. So, okay, so all of this is a lot to remember. We've gone through a tremendous amount of information. So what can we distill it down to? Let's do a quick visual review. So first start off by picturing a golden white sun or a flame between your eyebrows in the middle of your forehead. Move that down to your heart and feel your heart just expanding with this golden white light of pure love, pure divine light, pure happiness. Expand that to your arms and hands, legs and feet, your head. Then continue to expand it so it radiates out everywhere, illuminating your house, your community, your family, your relatives, and don't forget your enemies. We want to transform the enemies into friends. We want to turn negative into positive. Do it with the Jyoti light and expand it to the entire universe, all the trees, rocks, everything. And then try to sustain that feeling for as long as you can. Believe it or not, this Jyoti meditation is very powerful, not only for us, but for the world and even the universe. If just one person does this, the effect is just a tiny bit. If quite a few people do this, the effect will be much more powerful. And if everyone were to do this, we would be in the golden age. Swami has said that how long it's going to take to get to the golden age is up to us. Now, I don't know about you, but I would like to be in that golden age. So let's do the Jyoti meditation and transform this earth, everything, into pure love. Okay, so in the Dhyana Vihini, it says, to gain control over unsteadiness, meditation is a great help. It is not enough if one sense is conquered. All should be mastered from all sides. Of course, this is a very hard task. You might feel like giving up the entire struggle, but never lose heart. Be patient and persevering, and final success will be yours. Only you should not, like some spiritual aspirants, Stray from the path of discipline as soon as you feel you are not succeeding as much as you hope. That is not the road to victory. Persevere, be patient, and earn victory in the end. So, Jyoti meditation, or any meditation, is just like learning a musical instrument, right? The more you practice, the better it gets. The more you are connected to it, the more you put into it, the faster you will progress. Okay, references and links. Jean, do you mind reading these two slides?
Yes. The references and links for this can be found in Dhyana Vahini, Chapter 1, The Power of Meditation, Summer Showers in Vrindavan in 1979, Sutra Vahini, Jyoti's Charanabi Chapter, All India Balvikas Gurus Conference, November 21st, 1979, meditation section of satyasai.org is at that link, satyasai.org, devotion, meditation. Satyasai Speaks, volume 14, chapter 40, The Holiest Task. Also, Satyasai Speaks, volume 5, chapter 31, The Wheels, Outer and Inner, a section on Soham. Meditative pathways available from the Satyasai Book Center of America in Tustin, California. Soham and Meditation, a handout on meditation from the Singapore Sai Centers. It's excellent. I can send electronic copies by mail.
Thank you. So actually, the Soham and Meditation handout is on the Dropbox link. So you can download anything you want from that link, including this entire presentation. It's all there. And that Soham and Meditation handout is excellent. It was put together by the combined Sai centers in Singapore. And it goes through all the different types of meditation, what Swami has said about it. And it's just an excellent resource. It's actually one of the best. So let's move on to questions and answers. And also, if you have any comments or suggestions, or what can I do to make this presentation better? So, questions.
Let me start by saying thank you, Doug. That was absolutely beautiful. Blissful. That's the right word. But since you've done this for a long time, I'm curious, how long do you think it really takes to feel the divine presence and the divine bliss?
Okay, so how long does it take before we start feeling, that divine presence? And the answer is it's different for every person. Every person's, it depends where we are spiritually, where we are in our life, what distractions we have. And are we married with lots of kids? Get up early. So it's very different. But learning to meditate takes practice. Like I said, just like learning to play a musical instrument. The greater amount of effort, the faster the progress. The more you remain calm and unfazed by life, the faster the progress. Okay. The more you practice namasmarana, repeating the Lord's name, the faster the progress. It's also, we talk about those spiritual plateaus. It's important to resolve the plateaus when we hit them as soon as we can. So ask Swami to please guide us, to show us what we have to do to change in our lives so that we can. And remember, when we make those changes, we become better people. We become happier and more content with our lives because we're growing spiritually and we feel better about that. So I hope that answers the question. So another question, please. Anyone, another question?
I have a question.
Okay.
Maybe a comment with it. We'll see. Why would Swami, or why the Jyoti meditation was developed, where is this, what is the basis for this light? And of course, I have my idea.
Okay, so there's actually a couple questions in there. So what is the basis of the light? Okay, well, remember, he tells us that light is God, and God is light, right? God is also pure joy, ananda, happiness. Okay? God is prema, divine, unconditional love, and light. So they're all the same thing. Light, God, love, joy, they're different aspects of the exact same thing. Now, I'm a scientist, I'm actually a microbiologist. So, what is God? And the answer is, Swami says it's way above anything we could conceive of. But my best guess, and this is strictly a guess, is if you know quantum physics, that it is what is called the quantum vector, which is constantly, all throughout the universe, there is energy that pops into existence and pops back out of existence. And it's constantly going on everywhere. And the cosmic background, that energy that is popping out, to me, that's God. It has consciousness, it has love, happiness. And that's what we're made of. And the reason I think that is because that generates light, right? And so if that's where light comes from, maybe that's God. I don't know. But like I said, it's just conjecture on my part. But God is light, love, happiness. And so Jyothi meditation uses God's true being, God's being of life. And when we learn to develop the light and spread it throughout us, we are literally merging with God. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Doug, one of the references of the results of meditation is that it eliminates the mind so that it doesn't exist anymore. What is meant by eliminating the mind so that it doesn't exist?
Yeah, that's a scary thought, isn't it? I mean, our minds appear to us to be us. It's the true us, right? It's our mind. And so if we eliminate our mind, aren't we eliminating us? That seems pretty scary. But really, when you think about it, using your mind, it turns out that our mind is not the source of that feeling of I am, our source of being. That comes from our Atma. Our Atma is our true selves, our true being. Our mind is basically just like a memory card or a memory disk. Our mind is where all the data is stored, all the information that we gathered by living in this existence. And that information is highly distorted because that information that we gathered is all biased by where we were when we learned it, what was going on. Was it pleasant? Was it not pleasant? So all our knowledge is highly contaminated, it's highly distorted. And what we want is pure knowledge, divine knowledge. And that we can only get by merging with our Atma. And so eliminating the mind doesn't really mean eliminating it. It means putting our Atma in charge instead of our mind. Now, and how do we do that? We have to learn to ignore our mind. Okay? When our mind is telling us good stuff, when we're using it, to do good things like driving, whatever, wonderful. The mind is serving its purpose. But we have to be in charge. We can't let me rephrase that. We want our Atma to be in charge, our true self, not this, okay? However, our minds are like little kids, like naughty little kids or children. I have 2 grandkids, I know, that always want attention. So the mind will do anything to gain your attention. It wants to be in control. It doesn't want to give up that control. So it will do anything to get your attention. It will pop up shocking thoughts, very inappropriate thoughts. It will bring up, we all have skeletons in our closets. It will bring them up because it wants to get your attention. And Swami says, no problem. Treat those thoughts like clouds in the sky. Just let them drift away without paying any attention to them. Remember, we become what we put our attention on. Do not put our attention on negative thoughts from our mind, whether they be angry or fearful or anxiety producing, whatever. Let them float away without paying them any attention. Instead, put our attention on the Atma, on that divine light. Feel that light, the happiness flowing through us and out from us. Eventually, our minds will give up. And this has happened, and it's wonderful. Our minds finally realize, okay, he's not going to let me be in control. I give up. And then the mind realizes that it's so much happier not being in control. When the Atma is control, the mind is happy because everything that's coming into it is happy. And the mind wants to be happy, right? It doesn't want hassles and everything. It's afraid of not being in control. But when it realizes that when our Atma is in control, everything becomes right. Everything becomes happy. Then, the mind doesn't mind being in control, and the rest of your life will proceed very nicely, trust me. So I hope that helps. I hope that's a good answer for you. Okay, any other questions?
I have one, Doug.
Sure.
I've heard Swami say that other types of meditation can actually be harmful besides the meditation on light. And so I'm wondering, how strict do we have to be in adhering to this? I mean, can we modify it a little bit and kind of make up a few things on our own, or is that a good idea or not?
Well, yes, it's a very, very good idea, because not everything works for every person, right? We're all a little bit different. We all have different backgrounds. We're all at different parts of our spiritual development. And so, like I mentioned earlier, use Swami's version of the Jyoti meditation to get started. It's very simple. Feel the golden white sun, or the flame, as he puts it, between our eyebrows. Move it down to our heart, expand it from our heart to illuminate the rest of our body, our hands, legs, all our sense organs, and then expand it out to our families and the universe. And picture the golden white light raising the spiritual consciousness. And that's perfect, that's good. But in order to make that more effective, it's best to concentrate on different parts of it that allow you to see that light, to picture it, to imagine it. Remember, we have to use our imagination at first to visualize it until it actually starts to happen. So everyone needs to experiment a little bit and see what works. But the thing is, don't get attached. Remember, Swami says to avoid attachment. Try not to get attached to what we're experimenting with. If it works, if it's improving our meditation, wonderful. If it's not, let it go. Go back to Swami's meditation and try something else. Now, that's one reason why these recommendations in the Soham meditation manual from Singapore Sai Centers, all the meditation books that were in the reference are so good. Diana Vahini, that Swami wrote, very good, because they give the suggestions of how to do that. But ultimately, you are going to have to develop the version of Jyoti meditation that works best for you. It's gotten quite developed. And like I said, I will add it to the Dropbox so that you can see it, so you have suggestions of what to do. But that's just what works for me. What's going to work for you may be very different. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay, other questions? Any other questions?
Doug, I have a question, and
Sure.
and this relates to uh, my being in the ashram several years ago, and they had classes in meditation, and they were away from Purnachandra Hall. They were somewhere towards the other side of the ashram, and I turned up there at the time that they had set for the class, and the door was locked, and they said, "Well, we canceled it because there's no interest." And they didn't have any people showing up. Basically, I think it was a once a week class or something. So it kind of struck me that at least in the ashram, meditation seems to be very much at a discount, and it's not given much importance. That's one thing. The other thing is in the culture at all our centers here locally. If you look at the amount of time that's spent on bhajans or seva projects or study circles, and compare that to how much time is spent in group meditation, it's less than 0.1%. So I'm just wondering, is it that I think what you've shared with us shows how much importance and emphasis Swami places on meditation, but I'm seeing very little of it in center life or in group activities. And why is that?
One reason is that meditation takes work, right? It's just like playing a musical instrument. It takes lots of practice. I was meditating for about a year before I really started feeling, the divine energy pouring in. And so it takes work and perseverance. But what people need to realize is that it's worth it. Once you become adept at meditation, and you keep growing, remember, you never stop growing until you actually merge. Once you've merged completely, it's amazing. And Swami gave me that little taste, of when I merged with Swami just for those few seconds. He was motivating me. He was saying, Doug, here's the goal. Look how nice it is. Look how wonderful it is. It's worth doing the work to get there. Now, Swami, remember, a lot of this presentation came from the All India Valvikas conference of 1979. Swami told the SSC teachers to make sure they teach Jyoti meditation to their students. And that's where it needs to be done. There's an old saying, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. So as adults, we all have our habits. Hopefully we have good habits. But it's hard to change. But where we need to concentrate on is with the students. Okay. So we need to concentrate on the SSC students and young adults and let them start doing the Jyoti meditation and feel the difference. Then they will continue. I hope that's helpful. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one really quick.
Okay.
And by the way, what a beautiful program. I learned so much today. This is just
thank you.
exquisite. What a gift from Swami. And we especially thank you for your authenticity and honesty. So powerful. Why is visualizing golden white light important?
Can you start over?
Why?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Why is visualizing golden white light important? What about other colors?
Okay, so I think what you're asking is why is visualizing golden white light important?
Yes. What about other
What about
colors?
other colors? Okay, sure.
Prism.
Well, all the great ones, all the great saints and sages tell us that the light of divine spirituality is yellow, or what's called golden light. Okay, and when you read about it, when you see pictures of it, it always shows the golden halo. By the way, that halo is real. I forget what the Sanskrit word for it is, but it's a valve, that little halo that shows Every one of us has one. It's a valve that controls the amount of energy that comes in from our Atma. Remember, if all the energy came in at once, we'd be in big trouble. So the Jyoti meditation allows that valve to open a little bit more as we progress on the Jyoti meditation or any meditation until we're finally merged and the valve is fully open and we're one with our Atma, the Jivatma. So the colors of light are important. And actually, each color of light has a different function and a different aspect. Now, it's my understanding, there's different versions of this, but my understanding is that blue light represents power. Green light represents nature and healing, physical healing. Violet light represents purity. And violet light is actually very important to use during these times, during the Kali Yuga. And I have a whole practice, a whole technique of using the violet light to help purify the earth and ourselves. It's a great tool to remove our own vasanas. It works greater if we're troubled about something, we're fearful or angry. Using what's called the violet flame is very effective. And if anybody wants to learn that, I can teach them in the future. Pink light. Now, from your elementary school classrooms that pink is red that is mixed with white, right? But in the spiritual sphere, pink is actually, in the divine, pink is its own color, completely separate from red. And pink represents pure love, unconditional love, prema. So it's beautiful. You can always use pink light. It's wonderful. And then what's the other side? Are there any colors that we should not be using? The answer is yes. And that is red light. Okay. Why? What's the aspect of red light? Lust, hate, anger, fear. We've all heard the saying, he's red with anger or red with hate. It's true. Red light represents anger, hate, lust, the negative things. Now, does that mean there should be no red light? Not at all. We need red light. Red light is necessary for certain things in this physical earth. We need it, but we don't want to use it during meditation, and we want to concentrate on it. Not at all. Okay. In fact, it's best not to be in a red room. It's not good to wear red clothing when we're doing Jyoti meditation or have anything, that's bright red in front of us. Red is the lust, the hate, anger, fear, and so forth. So now people say, well, what about white light? White light has red in it. Well, that's true, but it also has all the other colors in equal proportion. So it's perfectly balanced. So there, the red light is balanced with everything else. So you're always safe to use white light. Now, golden white light, the yellow white light, is wisdom perfectly balanced in all other respects. So you can never go wrong by using golden white light. So I'm sorry that's a long-winded answer to your question, but hopefully that will answer the question. Great. Are there any other questions? And thank you for these questions. They are excellent. Are there any other questions? If not, let's move on. So I would like to end with a prayer to Swami. Oh, beloved Swami, we love you with all our hearts and souls. We love everything you do, everything you represent, and we are so, so grateful. Please pour a river of light, divine light, into us, into our families, and into the world, raising the spiritual consciousness everywhere and blessing everyone and everything. Please transform us into your instruments to carry out your divine plan and your divine will. We are grateful, grateful, grateful. Thank you, everyone. I'm very grateful that you allowed me to do this workshop. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to email me or ask me, message me, something like that. So thank you very much. Sairam, thank you for coming.